Hey guys, Raj Sanger of Car Security. Welcome back to the channel. I am standing next to our E30 325i Motorsport convertible. Last year we bagged the car on Airlift 3P. It's attended a couple of shows. Over winter the car's been parked up. But I think with now summer on the horizon, some lovely weather outside today in fact, I think it's time we upgraded the audio, ready for some summer hood down cruising. Right guys, so what products are we using to upgrade the audio? Now firstly, the car actually has a Pioneer stereo in there, singled in stereo. It doesn't have Bluetooth, so it's fairly old. The stock speakers are shot. There are no subs in the boot neither. We're upgrading to one of the latest Kenwood singled in USB Bluetooth with Bluetooth streaming stereos. And we're also changing the speakers and adding some bass. So front speakers, Powerbass components, and in the back of the convertibles, they take a 13cm speaker. So we've got Powerbass 13cm two-way speakers. These will be amped with a Powerbass 4-channel amp, which is this one here. And then finally, we've got a Powerbass mono, which will run two 10-inch Powerbass subs. We're gonna build a custom box for the E30 because in the convertibles where the hood sits, there's not a lot of space underneath the hood, so we have to make a custom box. We'll show you that shortly. And finally, we've got all the Powerbass wiring here as well. Now, before we get into the installation, I think I'll play you the audio in here, give you a little listen, and give my first impressions of how it sounds. Then we'll do another listening segment at the end of this episode once all the equipment is installed. Let's go. So that's not bad actually. There is some top end clarity. I don't think these are stock speakers in here. They have been upgraded. There is no bass whatsoever. I wouldn't expect any bass because there are no subs in this car. So you know what, now I'm going to hand over to our engineers, Jay and Steve. They'll strip the car down, run the cables, fit the speakers, change the stereo, build a sub box, mount the amplifiers, set it all up, and I'll be back shortly to give you another demonstration at the end. See you in a bit.
Right, you can take the rear speakers out, that panel just pops off like so. And we've got a set of speakers in there which aren't that great. We've also got some in the kick panel over there which are a matching set, so we'll take them out and replace them with the Powerbass ones that are actually at the back. I'm taking the seats out. I think it's a bit easier to run the power cable as it goes in the channel on those E30 cabs behind the carpet. So to run the cables properly, take the seats out. I can separate the power and the signal wires and everything, so it'll be a neat run. Just pulling the power cable through from the engine bay for our amp.
Right guys, let's get an update, see what's going on. Wow, car's already stripped. I noticed you took the seats out.
It's just a lot easier to work and run cables. So what we've done is use your OE channels to run the signal cable on one side and the power cable on the other to keep them separate. We've routed it where the factory wires run behind these panels into the boot area. So yeah, everything's going quite nice at the moment. Okay, so no surprises.
Right, okay, you carry on.
Yep.
Right guys, let me show you the speakers that have come out the car and the fresh audio that's going into the car. Front and back, so front kick panels and rear quarter panels, we've got these JVC dual cone 13cm speakers. This is not what would have been in the car when it left the factory. So at some point somebody's upgraded the speakers to these. They're okay, they sound fine. They don't really do the job, to be fair. There's also some tweeters in just behind the door mirrors. They're the original Nokia tweeters. Now, what are we replacing this kit with? In the front kick panels, we're putting this component kit in, the S-50C Powerbass kit, 13cm speakers going in the kick panel. Now, if you compare the two, chunkier magnet on the new Powerbass speaker, they're gonna sound a lot better. There's also some fresh tweeters that are gonna replace the original Nokia tweeters, and we've got a Powerbass crossover, which will split the high and low frequencies. Now, in the rear panels, we are replacing the JVC dual cone speakers with these Powerbass S-5202 13cm coaxial speakers. These are two-way, so you've got the tweeter mounted there on the speaker itself. Again, chunkier magnet than the original JVC that we took out. That's all going to be powered off this KDC-X5200BT single DIN unit. That's got Bluetooth, USB, Bluetooth streaming as well. 3 RCA preamps. Now, what do I need those for? Well, that's for the amps. Front and rear speakers will be powered by this Powerbass ACS 4120 4-channel amplifier, and we're also going to have some subs. So we've got a dedicated sub amp, ACS 500D. This will power 2 10-inch subwoofers, which are right here, the XL-1044Ds. We're going to make a custom box for these, which we'll show you in a few minutes. So that's all the new, fresh equipment that's going into the car. I'm going to leave the car and the equipment in the engineer's hands, and I'll be back at the end of this episode to give you an overview, to show you the installation, and have another listen.
These are the tweeter pods on our E30. I've taken out the original tweeters. They do come off relatively easily. They are bonded on, so you'll be able to crack them out. And what I've done is taken the Powerbass tweeters. They come with some housings, so I've just taken them out the housings, and they do fit pretty well in the slot. So what I'll do is glue them in place, and we can pop the pods back in. Got a couple of them that you saw me trim up earlier already in the car. Sits in there, like so. Final tweak up, quick tune, then we'll call Raj over to have a listen to it and see what he thinks.
Right guys, the audio installation in our E30 3250 Motorsport convertible is done. So one thing I've got to say is the engineers in the workshop have gone that little bit extra over and above. They've done a really nice boot build. So let me show you the boot build. This is a custom sealed sub box we made for those 2 10-inch Powerbass woofers. We could have gone ported, but that would have meant a bigger sub box, and we would have taken a little bit more of the space that I've got here in the sort of back boot area. Now, the amps. Rather than throwing the amps in, tucking them away, the guys here at Car Audio Security have built a simple but effective build for the 2 amplifiers. So on the left-hand side, we've got the Powerbass 4-channel amp. On the right-hand side, we've got the Powerbass mono amp. We've had to add some Dynamat because ultimately with these cars, there's going to be a lot of shake, rattle and roll. So we've added some Dynamat on the boot lid and at the back here, tailgate behind the number plate, because that always rattles. Those of you that have had E30s in the past will know the amount of rattle you get behind the number plate. So nice, clean, sympathetic boot build, still a nice usable boot area. But you know what? Let's have a listen now, and I'll give you my honest impression of how it sounds. straight away, it's a lot cleaner, a lot sharper. That top end treble is nice and crisp. Oh, and we've got a lot of bass now. Wow. Sounds fantastic. One good thing is that the bass is not overpowering. So we've got two 10-inch woofers, and sometimes you can overpower the mids and the treble, but not here. I could turn this up quite a bit. Still clear. Very, very, very impressive. Now, all the details for the products that we have installed are in the description below. Speakers, amplifiers, everything, they're in the description below. If you want similar sort of kit for your car, if you click on all those links, you'll get an idea of price. Installation, if you need a quote, obviously just drop us an email or send us a DM and we'll happily work out a quote for you. As always, any questions, any comments you may have, you know, if you're a little bit unsure of what you need, drop us an email. Most importantly, like this episode. Obviously, the more people that like our episodes and the more people that subscribe to the channel, the more content we can provide. Is there different content that you would like us to deliver for the channel? Then obviously let us know. But that's enough of me. Like, share and subscribe. I think it's time I pull the hood down. Sun is sort of trickling out. I want to go for a cruise. Hood down, cruising. Let's go.